So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. From the gun, here's Swift. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
Here's 2nd and 3. Once again, it's Swift. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football.
Touchdown! Quez Watkins, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Eagles are on the board first here on the road in Tampa. Building confidence after a loss, that's a good way to do it. The loss last game, but first drive here in this one, cashing it in for 6.
Yeah, they can talk all they want about putting the loss behind them. I think that drive there did more than any conversation they had, don't you think?
That's exactly right. Puts that to bed, and this is what they said all week long. A lot of things they needed to do differently, and whatever they said appears to have worked.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Now a 3rd-round pick a year ago. Here's Rachaad White. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Duggan will look to throw this. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's going to be knocked out of bounds all the way down at the 40-yard line. A big play that time for Tampa Bay. 42 yards. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Duggan now to throw. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. They will run with White out of the shotgun. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. He got maybe a half-yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Duggan. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have the Bucs 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
With the score, Eagles 7, Buccaneers nothing.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Duggan looking to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Duggan to throw. That is caught at the 7. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal.
How about that play from Peoples-Jones, and how about the 2022 he had? Former 6th-rounder topped 800 yards, going from primarily a deep threat to a well-rounded starting receiver.
To throw is Duggan. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Multiple players combined for their team's 1st sack of the game.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Throwing, Duggan. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Oh, they were so close. That close to their first points of the game. Just needed to hang on just a second longer, but he couldn't complete the process of the catch through the jostling from the defender.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Looking to throw. Dugan. And he pulls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. Trey Palmer with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Bucs are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. Well, with this rookie QB, we talk a lot about his ball placement and how good he can be at laying it right in there. I think we just saw, Charles, though, the strength of that arm. That was an absolute rifle for the completed touchdown.
It absolutely was, and let's face it, you think he was really ready to get that first touchdown? Absolutely. He threw that pass with authority, just as you described. Big-time arm right there, and let's face it, a lot of quarterbacks used to be pitchers in baseball. The fastball was usually their best pitch, and we saw it there.
And they're going to start in a hole as he's brought down at the 11. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent offer a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now, they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
2nd down and a yard. Here's Hurts to throw. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
In every game, we talk about what are going to be the keys as we go into it. Maybe that's a key for their defense today. Pressure the quarterback and make sure you play a good zone defense behind them, and they get their first sack of the contest.
Throwing is Hurts. And he is caught. He's going to have the first down and more than that. And down to the 29-yard line. A big play there for Philly. 56 yards.
Just a breakdown there defensively. It looked like someone got their wires crossed because no one seemed to pick him up at all. He's running free, and there's not a quarterback in the league who's going to miss that throw. That's a huge play.
So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. Burt sets up to throw it. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Jamel Dean. And the Buccaneers are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Back to throw. Dugan. He completes it right side of the lane. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 15 yards as Tampa Bay picks up the first.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
First down, here's White. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Nolan Smith showing some bursts there to catch him behind the line. The Buccaneers are 1-1 through 2 games thus far. It's not a start that's going to set the world on fire, but they've been pretty solid nonetheless.
And the first thing that crosses my mind, it certainly beats the alternative of starting 0-2. I do think that this is a team that's going to take a little time to find its footing. Hard to navigate the always tough NFL.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Looking to throw. Dugan. They'll look to Gesicki on the out route. Ball is caught. The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down. Operating from the gun. Dugan. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have the Buccaneers first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Now an open man, that's the tight end, Gesicki. It's complete. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The Bucs passing game looking good on this drive. It's a first down.
I'll give them credit for a good read right there because they read the man coverage on the right side and sent the tight end a few steps down the field and then angled him to the left on a crossing route. And he was able to get enough separation on this play to turn it into a nice gain.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a give up the middle. This is White. And he'll get this just inside the 30-yard line.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
A 2nd and 7 with our score tied at 7, but they're planning to change that soon. Only question, will they get 3 or 6 out of it? And in for the Buccaneers touchdown. Cade Otton, his 2nd touchdown on the season, and the Bucs have taken the lead. So the quarterback drops to throw, looks over, and boom, a guy that wide open. He has to be thinking, wait a minute, this is some kind of a dream. This is too easy.
Yeah, a great dream. One you don't want to wake up from. But for the defense, almost feels like there was a bust in coverage.
The extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he doesn't even get this to the 10. He's taken down at the 9.
Anytime you feel the kickoff inside your own end zone, you've got to be decisive about whether you're bringing it out or not. Sometimes that indecision can really cost you. That may have been what happened on that play.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. It's Devin White, the linebacker.
So rare to see any quarterback toss back-to-back interceptions in the NFL, regardless of status or experience. Whether it's him personally or just the offensive game plan, I think this defense is reading something out there, and they're holding the upper hand.
On 1st and 10, Dugan. He's got White here. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer first down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Jordan Addison with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Bucs are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, to put it mildly, he's been able to dice up this secondary all game long, and this time that was a missile that he threw into the end zone and adding another touchdown to his ledger.
And I think we see these youngsters develop a lot quicker than we ever have, because when they get started in this game, they're not just throwing passes around. They're reading coverages early. So now they're like seasoned pros earlier in their career. How about this one here? If they win this ball game, a game ball definitely coming from his head coach.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
At their own 29-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands. Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives. That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chatter right now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
Now 2nd and 5. Hurts. He's going to get that to Swift underneath. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. On first down, Hurts. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked by Antoine Winfield Jr. A nightmare of the first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
On first down, Dugan. That's caught downfield by Addison. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Dugan. Flush to his right. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. 2nd and 10. To throw again. Dugan. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
And here you're down in the red zone. You need to be smart, not force anything. So that's a wise decision to just get rid of the football.
And his kick is indeed good, and that will do it for this first half. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Bucs with a lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble of bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner,
yeah, they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
2nd down and 6 now. Addison will go in motion left. From the 30 on 2nd down. Duggan. Now he'll take a shot for Peoples-Jones. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown. Donovan Peoples-Jones. 70 yards. And the Buccaneers come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the 3rd quarter. Well, partner, I mean, if anybody was still questioning whether or not he had an NFL caliber arm, I think you can toss that right out the window. That was a heck of a throw right there.
I would agree totally. Question it no more. This rookie, big time throw right there. Great poise, stepped up, trusted he could lay it in there perfectly, and he knew that his guy was going to make the catch on the other end. Nice collaboration.
Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
Evident there that he learned his lesson from the last drive. No way he was going to force a throw that time. When nothing broke open, kept it, and ended up running for a first down himself.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
Now a 2nd and 10. Back to throw here. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5. And they're going to speed things up here. They'll look to throw here. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
They run straight ahead here with White. And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. That one doesn't find its target, but all in all, he's been much sharper this week. He was under 50% a week ago, and now he's up over 70%.
Well, you know it's standard for quarterbacks and receivers get together for a little extra time each and every day in practice. I get the sense they got together for a lot of extra time this week to try and improve that passing percentage, and it's worked out quite well.
To throw again on 2nd down. Duggan. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. Dugan. To the sideline and incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further. So tack on 3 more, though this, it's just a rare drive where they did not find the end zone.
Yeah, you're right about that, partner. But at this point, I don't think you're too concerned about that. You just want to possess the football for a while and drain the clock. If you can get 3 out of it, that's great, too.
And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
At the 32-yard line.
They run out of the gun with Swift. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
That was a good illustration of setting the edge as a defensive end, being able to make sure that you stay on your feet no matter what type of block, and you're not going to get pushed inside. Stayed home, skated to the outside, and made the play.
From the gun, it's Hurts. And this is going to be incomplete. We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years, but here we go. White, he'll try the left side. And we're down to the 41.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it?
Yeah, the offensive returns have been good, but I guess we figured he in the ground game would be a bit more involved. From the 41, here's a 2nd and 7. Off play action. Dugan, they'll roll him out right. And an off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, the connection they've had has been excellent today, but not on that snap. I think he was asking just a little too much as he extended that play, hoping for one more completion with him.
To throw on 3rd down, Dugan. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Rashad White, 41 yards. And the Bucs take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
They're on the 17-yard line.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
He'll hit Watkins on the crossing route. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 27 yards there, a first down. Well, the margin on that scoreboard, obviously, for them, it looks daunting. But I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard, trying to do too much. Because if you do that, you're all but guaranteed to start making mistakes. Just focus on one play at a time and make each one successful.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. Wait a second, they declined the penalty?
I'm as puzzled as you are, partner. I don't understand how any time you lose possession of the ball, yet you turn down a penalty that would give you possession back. Let's make this simple. Anyone who plays the game, take the football. Always take the football.
And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. You don't see that a ton, do you? Or the cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle.
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this third quarter of play. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And this is off target to the left, didn't get there anyway. It's no good, but that's just a minor blip here in what's been a thoroughly dominating performance. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the 4th quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, you know, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he is across midfield from 149 to the other 49, a gain of just 2. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And quickly, they get to the line. On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. Flushed out right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
They lead. And a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Second down, here's Jalen Hurts. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Watkins. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Going quickly out to the right side. And now this is going to be close. The defense says they stopped him, and they did. The Eagles unable to convert there on fourth. And the Buccaneers defense holds, and they get the football back. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. You just kind of feel for the defense right now, this deficit. They have not been able to stop them the entire game, Charles. And some hands on hips, some long faces out there on the defensive side. Oh, they're like, oh, my gosh, we got to face these guys again here.
Yeah, people don't understand how hard it is when you're on the side that's being dominated to keep your head up and continue to play hard. And that's what they're going through right now, trying to find that pride inside of them to allow them to continue to fight, even though they are down huge in this game.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. They'll go up the middle with White, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy, because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need,
and this will be caught at the 30. A big play that time for Tampa Bay. 58 yards.
And this has been the story all night long. They just came out firing and have not backed off, even with the big fourth quarter lead. Here's another completion for big yardage.
A real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. White running to the left. He will push his way down to about the 14. 2 yards that time, a stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
2nd down and 8.
Duggan looking to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Nakobe Dean, his 2nd sack of the night.
All right, let's give them a little bit of applause here. Good for them, because this has been a defensive nightmare for them thus far. At least they're finally getting a couple of big plays. Won't make the scoreboard of the ride home easier, but one good moment to watch in film next week.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Partner, you and I have struggled with this for years. You've got the lead. Just take care of the football and burn some of that clock. But there's something to be said for not taking your foot off the gas as well, because you can never have too big of a cushion. That one, though, falls incomplete.
So another long try for 3 and another kick that comes up lacking.
Yeah, this isn't going to do any wonders for his field goal percentage, but you have to figure as a head coach that when you send a guy out there to try and kick from that distance.
And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
They'll try and set up the screen to Swift.
And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It'll be a loss of 6 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. They'll drop to throw. He's going to let it fly. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Jamal Dean. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line.
But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
A running play on first down, and it turns into a fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. He can rack up those tackles in bunches in the run game from that middle linebacker spot.
And what he has to do is make sure he congratulates the guys in front and tells them thanks a lot, because as the guy in the middle, the Mike linebacker, you're counting on your front three, your front four, your front five, whatever you've got in front of you to take up all the blocking.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. It's Nakobe Dean with a pick, and the Eagles are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as it will come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game.
So after that sack, Hurts and the Eagles, tough spot here, 3rd and long.
Looking to throw. And now here is another interception. Picked by Antoine Winfield Jr.
And they've got the huge lead now. They have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be forced out of bounds shy of the line of scrimmage, so that'll be credited as a sack. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
So when the defense complains about having to do pursuit drills in the heat of training camp, plug in this play. Excellent pursuit. Force the quarterback out of the pocket. He ends up trying to run for it. Instead, he goes out of bounds and loses yardage. That goes down as a sack for the defense.
Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Isaiah Rodgers.
And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football, because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they didn't get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
Well, on the one